So thank you everyone for joining me today. It's wonderful to see you all. My name is Michael Smith. I'm the National Consumer Education Manager of Janome Canada, and I'm back at the Janome Sewing and Learning Center to present another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. And what will the machine be today? Well, maybe you could tell by our clue on the Janome HQ Instagram page. Oh, hello, Sandra. It's great to see you. But now all secrets will be revealed. So the machine we're going to be talking about today on the Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour is, ta-da! Woo! There we go. One of our fabulous, very special, commemorative anniversary edition. This is the Janome 311 PG. Now, PG stands for pink gold. So we've got this beautiful machine with all these beautiful pink gold accents here, the balance wheel, and then even the stitch chart I thought was so cute that they put it in this, again, pink gold. They've got the beautiful anniversary logo on, and then the special anniversary there's a special name for this little knot, and I always forget it, but it's very beautiful. It's the anniversary logo. So again, this very limited edition, Janome celebrates 100th years this year. At the end of the year, when we turn over to, 2022, these machines are gone. Janome's no longer 100, will be 101 then. So all of these machines will be gone. So this is definitely your time to grab one of these fabulous Janome 311 PG. Now, I will get into the machine in just a minute, but I wanted to show you, aren't the boxes beautiful? All the anniversary machines come in these beautiful boxes. So I always encourage people, save your boxes, save all the styrofoam packaging in case you've got to move your machine, but the box is just beautiful. So, that's worth saving it anyway. But one thing I wanted to show you all too, I'm so impressed with Janome's attention to detail. I don't know if you can all see here on the styrofoam that protects the machine in the box, it even says 311 on the styrofoam. Isn't that amazing? You can imagine Janome's factory, we've got hundreds and thousands of machines going out, so I love how detailed they are. So it's very cool. So here for the fabulous 311 PG, now, I'm not sure how they came up with the 311 because this machine actually has 15 stitches, not 11 as you may think, but yes, 15 stitches, including the 4-step buttonhole. So this is one of these perfect entry level. You're new to the Janome brand. You're wondering what, all the hype is about. Maybe you see, Janome's 100th anniversary. Maybe I'll get a Janome machine. So you're wondering what it's all about. The 311 PG is the perfect, entry-level machine. Or if you're, again, a beginner sewist, or even if you don't want to take up sewing as a hobby per se, I don't know why, but let's say you don't really want to get that much into sewing, but you want a machine in order to be able to do, Maul is here, hello. You want a machine in order to, again, fix a button that's popped on your blouse or your pants, or you want to fix a zipper or something like that. So you just want to do some basic general repairs, nothing too fancy. You want a very lightweight, very portable machine for your classroom. Let's say when we finally do open here for classes in person, then this is a great machine. Leave your big machine, your big Continental M7 at home, but then maybe you've got this fabulous 311 PG to bring to classes, or if you're going down south for the winter, let's say, and you want to travel, then this is the perfect machine for that. Now, more information about the machine, as all machines, if you go on our website, janome.ca, and then you type in the 311 PG, and here is the fabulous little features page that our marketing guru, Alan, puts together. So here they give you a list of some of the features and the stitches, and even a picture of the bonuses included, which is very fabulous, as it says, on the box over there, bonuses included. So yes, we will talk about those. Now, when you get your machine, as always, I know I sound like a broken record, but you're going to get your instruction manual out first thing. And what I love, you may think, oh, well, this is a very basic machine, but this instruction manual is far from basic. It is written in English and French and Spanish, so isn't that cool? But even here, even with these entry-level machines, the manual still has, here is a whole section all about needles, how to change your needles. Here's a little needle guide on which needles to use for which fabric, how to adjust your tensions, all of that is in your manual. Also at the very back of all Janome manuals is a description how to care, how to maintain your machine. Now, this machine is very special in that, it's got this vertical oscillating hook. It's not a lay-in bobbin. This one actually has its own separate bobbin case, and they're showing you how to take apart the hook race in order to clean it properly. So again, you don't need to be fearful and intimidated. All the instructions are in your manual. And then, of course, when in doubt, always check with your Janome dealer and your authorized Janome service technician to service your machines. But again, a lot of information is in the manual. Now, also very important is your Janome warranty card. And this is good for, they talk about Janome Canada or Janome America, as we're trying to kind of amalgamate into Janome North America in a way. So then again, all the information, if you're in Janome Canada, this is what to do with your registration. If you're in Janome America, this is what to do with your registration. Even our phone number is in this warranty card. So make sure that you read this, keep it handy if ever you need to contact again, your dealer in Janome about anything. Now, also included with this machine, here is your foot pedal. Now, it's one of these where the foot pedal and the power cord are incorporated into one unit. They're not separate electrical cords. And why I point this out, this is the end of the cord that will go into the machine. It's the same foot pedal and cord that go into all of our Surgers and our Cover Pro machines. So if you have a Janome Surger or Janome Cover Pro machine, then you can use the same foot pedal as those machines for your Janome 311 PG here. So you could just reduce some of the cord clutter under your table and use the same foot pedal for those two machines. So I think that's great. Now, yes, when we tour the machine and see how beautiful it is, and let's get right into our little pack of bonuses. It's so adorable. Now, also included is this bigger commemorative. Here's the commemorative 100th anniversary sticker, but here's a bigger sticker that you can put that, anywhere else on your machine, or maybe some of your items. Maybe you're going to take them to class or travel with them, so you could stick this sticker on something so then hey, that's yours. But in this cute little sachet, isn't that adorable? That I believe, I want to say all or pretty much most of the anniversary machines come with bonuses of some kind. So here is this cute little pink and white gingham pin cushion. This is the washi tape with a 100th anniversary logo. The washi tape is like Japanese paper, very, very thin, but it's sticky on one side. So you could, again, mark your tools, that they're all yours, or you could decorate your machine a little more with them, use it for scrapbooking, whatever you wish, again, with the 100th anniversary logo. So that's included. Now, who doesn't need a little pair of snips as well, which are always handy. So these are included with your machine, but of course you all know I love our mini duckling scissors. I always have these near me. And in fact, one thing I love to keep them on is here are Janome Pin Pal. These are available from your Janome dealer. I love this. Keep your pins on here. Or again, I keep like my stiletto. I cannot sew without that stiletto. I've had it for about 30 years. And these mini duckling scissors, because I use them all the time to trim threads and everything. So I like to keep them here on my Janome Pin Pal. So that's great. Your little snips you can keep on your Janome Pin Pal too. And for our Elna customers, our ELNA viewers, yes, we do have an ELNA equivalent of that pin pal as well. So you can double check. Some of our Janome dealers are also ELNA dealers. They sell both brands. So then you can check with your dealers there about this ELNA pin pal as well to share your ELNA love. So yes, also included in your little bonuses, oh yes, 10 Janome bobbins. Like, who doesn't need more bobbins? Now, 4 already come with your machine, but again, who doesn't want more bobbins? So that's great. Ooh, let me move this out of the way. But speaking of bobbins, you know, to celebrate Janome's 100th anniversary, we do have this special 100th anniversary box of pink bobbins. So how perfect that they match your machine. Or, you know, we do have our other pink cherry blossom bobbins that we've had for quite some time. And then, of course, oh yes, we've got our blue bobbins and our red bobbins. So we've got lots of extra bobbins that you can color coordinate with your machine. Or again, maybe you've got your polyester threads with your blue bobbins, and maybe you've got your cotton threads with the red bobbins, and maybe you've got your metallic threads with the pink bobbins. You know, you decide how you want to use them, but I'm of the opinion you can never have enough bobbins. Now, of course, you can also get more bobbins with our Janome pre-wounds. These you can use in all Janome machines. They're all on the Janome bobbins. Oh, hello, Cheryl. Again, better late than never, so welcome. The Janome pre-wounds come in black and white. Again, great to get 12 more bobbins, because the nice thing, after these pre-wounds are all used, you still have that reusable Janome bobbin. So you've got 12 more bobbins here, too. So all of your Janome machines, barring our like HD9, for example, and barring our long arm machines, but all of your Janome embroidery machines and entry-level, top-of-the-line machines can all use the same bobbin. So it doesn't matter which Janome machine you have. So that's really good. That's definitely convenient. So yes, let's tour this fabulous machine. Now, when we go and look in our instruction manual, it will tell us what's included with the machine. And when you first unpack it and you wonder, hey, where's my accessories? Well, even the instruction manual will tell you. Sometimes in our machines, the accessories are kept in this little accessory drawer here. So this little compartment, you know, you can remove it. So we do have a free arm here. If we want to, you know, hem cuffs or, you know, jeans or anything like that, you know, it's great to use that free arm. And as well, then this is how we're going to get to our bobbin, because this, again, is a vertical oscillating hook that it's going vertically around. It's not the lay-in kind the way the majority of machines are. So automatically, because this is a vertical oscillating hook, I know that this is a 5mm wide machine. And then yes, with our little bag of accessories that's come included with the machine, of course we have our little screwdriver, our seam ripper that comes with, I think, all of the machines, because it is a necessity when we're sewing. So we do have the seam ripper, and then again, we've got our 4 bobbins here. And then we have our zipper foot, our E foot. Now you can go back to the Janome HQ A to Z with Janome series that's on the Janome HQ Instagram page or Janome HQ YouTube channel. The E episode of the A to Z with Janome series, I demonstrated the zipper foot. So that is included. Again, maybe you just want the machine to do some basic repairs. This is a sliding buttonhole foot. Now, last week I demonstrated the Sewist 709 machine. It had a sliding buttonhole foot that had metal around it. This one is plastic. But they work exactly the same. So again, you could go back to the 709 episode from last week when I demoed this. And then I also demoed this, previous on another Sewist machine back in the A to Z on Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. So I have demoed this previously. But this is great. Again, with the plastic foot as well, the big advantage of this Janome 311 PG machine is, again, a great beginner or entry-level machine. Definitely the price point, is very attractive. that way. And again, by having this foot be a all plastic for foot versus the metal is something that keeps the cost down lower. So again, it's a great, perfect entry-level secondary machine. If you're wanting maybe to teach a child to sew, you're not really sure if they're going to really commit to sewing, so maybe you don't want to invest in a big fancy machine and spend a lot of money. So a machine like this would be great. It gives them certainly a little beyond the basics, but then again, you're not breaking the bank buying a machine and then, oh, they don't end up, getting into sewing. So this way you don't need to worry about that. It comes with a pack of Oregon needles. Now, Oregon is the company that actually manufactures are Janome needles. So some machines, most of our machines actually have Janome needles in them. But again, some of them have Oregon needles, and they're kind of one and the same. Again, Oregon manufactures Janome needles, so they're perfectly good to use in your machine. We just don't have a little package like this that says Janome on it. Our needles come usually like in these bigger plastic packages. So instead, we've got this little paper pack of Oregon needles for extra needles. So when you use those up and you need to change them out, you can totally go to your dealer. These are our Janome blue tip needles, for example, but we've got our red tip needles, which it looks like I need to order some more because yes, I yo through these red tip needles the most. And then we also have our purple tip needles that are size 14 with that flared cobra head. So these are good if ever you're doing some decorative stitches, for example, and you're getting or sewing through some thicker layers and getting some skip stitches. These Janome purple tip needles will alleviate those. So you can get all of these extra needles from your Janome dealer. Now, also what comes included with your machine is this very special. This is your blind hem foot, but it is an adjustable blind hem foot. So this is the same that is on the Sewist 709 that I did demonstrate last week on the Janome Magical Machine Mystery Tour. And this is a very cool foot because then again, you can adjust it for your blind hem. So I'll get back to that in just a minute. And then also included, very special, is this darning plate. You know, machines way back when used to have these darning plates because they weren't able to drop the feed dogs. So if you wanted to sew a button on by machine, for example, you don't want those feed dogs moving your fabric. Or if you wanted to darn, clothing, or if you wanted free motion quilting, again, you don't want the feed dogs in play. So typically you would drop them. In the Janome 311 PG here, we can't drop the feed dogs, but then we can cover them with this darning plate. So I'll show you that in just a minute. So it's very cool. So this is what comes with your machine, but then of course, as always, double check with your Janome dealer. They have lots more available for the machine. So I wanted to show you all, though. I will take out the, I just put some hand cream on my hands and then, they're so slippery now. I wanted to show you that, yes, here the Janome 311 machine has a separate bobbin case. So what makes these front-loading oscillating hooks very unique is they have a separate bobbin case. In the machines that are top loading, they have the bobbin holders. They're usually black, and then the bobbin holders, stay in the machine typically. We can switch them out, but the bobbin just lays in top. Whereas here with these front loading machines, we have a separate bobbin case. This is just like in our long arm machines on the Janome Quiltmaker Pros. They all have front loading oscillating hooks with the separate bobbin case. And then normally when we have our Janome bobbins, our top loading machines, we want the bobbin to form a P. So the thread comes off the left here. So it looks like a P. But with our vertical oscillating hooks here, we want it flipped the other way. So the thread comes off to the right. So it's going clockwise. So if you're, again, on social media and you're asking about, I'm having trouble with my machine, and if everyone's telling you, oh no, your thread goes to the left, Well, that's true if you have a top-loading machine, but your front-loading machine, the thread's going to go to the right. So it really is important to know which machine you have so you're doing it correctly. And again, your instruction manual goes over all of it. So when I put my thread in the little tensions there, and then click it in there, there. Now, when we go to put this bobbin case in our hook here, we want to make sure that the needle is up at the highest position, and then we're going to make sure we hear this click. And I hope you all heard that click. So now we know it's up. The hook is up here. It's engaged. It's not going to spin around. And again, your instruction manual goes over everything, so it's important, though, to just hear that click, so then you know it's engaged. Then I like to rotate the flywheel here, or the balance wheel, and bring up that bobbin thread. There we go. Lovely. And then I close my little case, and away we go. So when we go to do some stitching here, we've got 2 little spool pins. They're so cute. They just retract, so that's great. So 2 vertical spool pins, so we could use a twin needle with this machine, or when we thread the machine and then we need to wind a bobbin here, we don't need to completely unthread our needle. We can just put an extra spool pin here on the extra spool pin. Now, when I draw this thread across to go wind my bobbin, I'm running it over this spool here, because I don't want to unthread my needle. So instead, I just feel a little better moving that spool off, so my thread isn't going to rub against that other spool. But I don't need to unthread the needle. I just move it out of the way. Make sure your thread is under those guides. Now, I've gone over a couple of times of winding the bobbin, of how I've done it for 30 years. When I bought my first Janome machine, is that I put it through this little hole, and then we want to make sure there's a little, there's a little notch. There's a little notch right there in your bobbin, and we want to make sure that little notch clicks into this little wire elbow that's up at the top of your bobbin winder. And this is true of every Janome machine, and you want those to click in place. Once I know they're clicked in, I'm going to push over the bobbin. And this machine is unique in that we will pull out this balance wheel, pull it out like that. And then that way the needle isn't going to cycle up and down when we wind the bobbin. So now I always start slow to make sure everything's going to be okay, make sure it's staying in the tension here. But again, by releasing that balance wheel, then the needle isn't cycling up and down while we're winding the bobbin. So isn't that cool? So again, that's quite unique. Some other machines have it, but the majority of Janome machines do not have that feature, so I thought I should point it out. So once I know my bobbin is good, then I can go really fast, and then this thread that I'm still holding on to way up here, then again I just clip and then cut that, and away you go. So it's very simple. Oh, Selena's here. Oh, hello. Excellent to see you. So yes, let me get this thread back into place, because as usual, time is marching on, and I wanted to show you this cool darning plate. So when we want to sew on a button, for example, this little darning plate, there's little pins here that correspond with these little holes that are in your needle plate, and then the hole here. Again, we've got a 5mm machine, so the hole there is the hole that's in our needle plate. So we know that we'll put it the correct way. Oh, now ultimately I'm going to end up with my thread under it, which we don't want that. So I'm just going to put my thread through that so I don't have to draw up the bobbin thread again. And then I'm going to slide this into place, and it just clips in as soon as I can find those little, there, it just clips in. So very cool. Now this is great for when, again, we're going to sew on a button. So very simple, very easy. Here's my usual, button placket as if it's on a shirt. Behind it, though, I always love to use some Madeira stabilizer. This is the tearaway, and these are the leftovers after I do some embroidery. I always save every little scrap of stabilizer. Your button placket would always be interfaced and stabilized anyway, but I always like just a little bit of extra, and then this way I can just easily remove it. Boom, no problem. But this is how I end up with beautiful stitches every time. So a little bit of Madeira stabilizer from our Madeira stabilizer starter pack, for example, goes a long way. So when we're going to sew on a button by machine, again, we don't want our feed dogs in play. So that's why having that darning plate is really good. So when we have our, usual button, I like to, and I will do it in this instance, in this instance as well, I like to take a little piece of tape and I tape my button down in place. So then I know it's not going to slide around while I'm stitching. And then it's no problem, stitching through the cellophane tape. It comes off very easily. Now, as you will see with our stitch chart here, they tell you how to move. This is your stitch selection dial, and this is your stitch length dial. This is your reverse. And then, of course, we've got our usual tension control for our needle thread. So very simple, very, basic adjustments, very easy to use. So I want a zigzag in order to stitch my button down. So that's C. So I'm going to adjust my stitch selection here to a C. And then I can control the width of that zigzag. If I have it a little closer to C, it's going to be wider. If I have it a little closer to B, it's going to be more narrow. So the cool thing is when you do these buttons by machine, regardless of what machine it is, I always do it by hand first, because I want to make sure that we've got it lined up in the, yes, I'm not quite in. It's a little hard to see because, again, I'm at the side, so I can't quite see the hole. This is the hard thing when I'm at the side. I swear it works beautifully. Oh, there, am I in? Oh, there, I'm in. Okay. Yes, and sorry, my hand's in the way. So I definitely want to make this wider so it goes down in the other hole. So I always, and we want to turn the balance wheel towards us, always towards us, to make sure, there we go. Can you see? It's automatically. Now it's going in. I know it's good. I'm not going to break a needle, so then I can use my power foot there. So I only need to do it a couple of times, and then I turn. There we go. And then I can remove my project here, trim all my threads, and then, then I can easily remove. Now I only did half this button, but then again, there's my stitching across, and then I just remove my tape, and then I just remove my stabilizer, and how perfect is that? So very simple, very easy to do. This G stitch down here, when we do our stretch stitches, that we turn this to SS, is stretch stitch. So then G, this is the perfect time to use, and I don't need this adjustable blind hem foot anymore. I'm going to snap this on, and then this G stretch stitch is great to use when you want to sew knit fabrics, because this will help stitch the seam. Now it's a knit, so it's not going to it's not going to ravel anyway, but this will stitch the seam, and then this will also give you some stretch. So There we go. Now there is a thread cutter. Normally on most Janome machines there's a side thread cutter. On this one there is a thread cutter here at the back of the needle bar back here. There is a thread cutter back there. So this is like your stretch stitch. Again, we've got perfect stretch there. And if need be, again, you take your little mini duckling scissors and you go in and then you can trim down your seam allowance to make that a little neater. So isn't that beautiful? So there's so many things you can do with, again, what seems to be, oh, it's a very basic machine, but there's so much you can do with it. So definitely double check with our fabulous Janome dealers for the Janome 311PG. Oh, All About Crafts, hello. Thank you for joining us. Wonderful. So let me turn around. Well, wave to everybody and turn around and say, oh my God, again, as usual, that flies by so quickly. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all next week for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. And again, what will I be talking about? Oh, I don't know. It's a mystery. So thank you everyone for joining me, and have a fabulous day. Bye.